The whole universe is in your mind. Because in the night, in the sleep, we have a dream, and the dream is in our mind. We dream of being on a vacation on a tropic island, and in the night we are on this tropic island. There's nothing that comes to say you are not on this island, you dream. But in the morning we wake up and we see that we are in our bed. We were not on this tropic island, it was in our mind. And then we wake up and we start a day doing our business. There is nothing coming to say to you, you are not drinking coffee, you are not walking outside, because you are drinking coffee and you are walking outside. There is no one saying that it doesn't work like that. It is not true. So, for you it is real. And in fact, it is only like the night dream, it is only happening in your mind. This is the hard part. But the same awareness in the night dream, you know you were not on this tropic island, it was just in your mind. And in the daytime, you can say, I was in a park, but there was no one in a park, it was just in your mind. You yourself were in your mind, in the spirit. It was just daydream, night dream, daydream, both unreal, because they are just appearing in your mind, in your consciousness. The only thing that exists is the consciousness, the awareness, the experiences, but they are just appearings and arise in your mind. Now this here, it is not real. It's imagination. The only real thing is the one seeing it. The one being aware of it, of this dream. It's a dream. The only real thing is the entity, the awareness, the big spirit which has the room and the space and the time for making up this dream. And you will everlasting be the happy witness. Bliss, eternal bliss inside of you. When you stop the dreaming to believe as real. It will appear, but it is not real. That makes happy. Sat Chit Ananda. Hari Om Tat Sat. That's what you are. To know that you are this bliss is the bliss itself. Everything that you see is an image of a reflection. It seems to be outside, but it is in fact inside of you, because it's in your own consciousness. You see the things, and you have the things that you see in your consciousness, and that's inside you. That means everything you see is in your own consciousness. It is in your awareness. Awareness can never be anywhere else than in you. So whatever you see, hear, or what taste or whatsoever is possible for moving facts, it is in you. It is inside. What does it mean? Well, you are greater than the whole picture that you see. The whole world is in you. It means you are the space receiving it. The reflections of the images. It's amazing if you think like that. There can never be war or wanting to change things, but because they are already inside you. If you see some clouds on the sky, you see them not in the sky, you see them inside of yourself, of your consciousness. And how can you change something that is already in you? So it makes you feel so relaxed and you can accept whatever is, because you cannot do anything about it, only accept or enjoy it, or just see it, or no opinion about it, but it's not something that you can do outside of you, and that's where the whole world is going a wrong way. They see something and they go outside to change it over there, but it is inside themselves. That's why there is struggle, and it will never help you feel relaxed. It is the game of the mirror. The whole universe is inside of you. Funny. Think about it. You need to go out of your mind in the first place to be able to understand that you were never born. People cannot understand, the mind cannot grasp that it is not there, because wisdom is that which remains when the mind is put away. When there is no mind, there is the wisdom. That's the being, the knowing. Knowing is what you are. Not knowing of something or a science or a book or someone, I know him, no. Knowing without object. Like being without object or form. That's what you are. Power. Do you know what power is? Yes, because then you can imagine somebody with big muscles and can lift up. That's in the power what we speak of. But no, not that power. Can you know what possibility is? Yes, because it's possible that can be did, or maybe that will be happening, or it's always about objects and forms that we compare, that we know things. We need objects to know. But if we leave all that behind, the forms, the objects, the situations, and there is something that remains. That's the power. That's the knowing. But there is no you. There's nobody in it. Still it is in you. You are not in the power is in you. You are not in the knowing that would make you an object. The knowing is in you. And in you is a formless state, a reality of what you are. If you start to read a book, which you like, you are pleased and amazed at what can happen in it, and it's fine to read the book. And when the book is gone out, you put it aside, but the knowing of the book is still there without the book. That's the same that when you go into a birth, so-called, not really, but you imagine it, and you can imagine it very well because there's all sorts of emotions coming with this imagination, emotions and feelings and wantings and fear, and it's all in the imagination of you in an imagined form of a birth. Then you can, everything can happen. But in the deep sleep you are so tired, you fall back in the black emptiness because it is not real what you imagine. But after having imagined it, the knowing remains. Not the knowing of what you imagined, that was just a tool, but the knowing of what you are. My goodness, this is the bliss of knowing that you are this filled with possible imaginating things. Imagine whatever, and then leave it. If you have a meal, you enjoy the food, the meal, and when it's finished, the plate is empty, but the joy is still there. Something like that. We have always to go into the experience before we can leave it behind. But after a while, we see that it's always the same. The experience doesn't matter anymore. It's what's left behind, what remains. And that's the same when you started to imagine. Only now it is fulfilled. There is no more longing or wanting or asking or what is it, who am I? It's fulfilled after the journey into the imagination. So, all what you see is your own imagination. There's nothing else that exists. And it is not even true. It's imagination. You imagine now that you are here in a body form, looking around, seeing things and waiting for supper or going out or whatever. It's imagination. But we repeat it every time because we don't look further. Once we understand it's imagination, it will slowly sink away. And the fulfillment of the story, it will remain. That's what you feel when you have a good night rest. You wake up, there is sort of vibration. It's the memory of your own situation, your true state. And it flows away in the day because people talk to you and you blah blah blah. The mind takes over, and if it's not your mind, then others will do it for you. But it's all imagination. Remember what you are. The more time you spend, the more attention you spend on the nothingness, the fuller it will be, and diminishes the outer outer, not real outer, but the impressions. Impressed. It's pressing in your space. So that's what's happening, and you may remember whatever is appearing, it's imagination. It's for playing, and leave the play and the joy will remain. A lot of words for one simple thing. It's imagination. Remember your true state, full of bliss. What we are is life. Life that put itself in a form, and without form it still is the same life. But in the form it started to think, there was a mind in this form that started to think it was something self. It was somebody. But mind is just emptiness, it's air. How can you suffer from something that is not existing? Oh my goodness, this mind which is not true makes us suffer. So only when you understand what you are doing, the suffering stops. You are already what you are. And this little mind starts to say, you have to search for yourself. But it takes a lot of pain and suffering to understand, and then there's nothing to let go because it never was there. It's air. The mind is air. The thoughts are empty. You cannot take them with you or put them in your hand and have the weight of the thoughts in your hand. But your whole body is going, suffering and bending down under the weight of air. How silly can we be? The whole world is mad, but it's just emptiness, so okay, let it play. It's so obvious to see what you are. You sit in a chair and you see outside. Then you are the witness of what is outside. You are not that what is outside. You see it. That's obvious. You are the witness. You are aware. But you don't see the one sitting in the chair looking outside. So we are half aware. Only what we see outside we are aware. And we are sure, we know that we are not that what we see. And then we have no idea that we ourselves are being seen by awareness. Awareness sees outside. It's not what it is, it's witnessing. But awareness sees you sitting there, and that's not what you are aware of. Because you think you are this, and you know you are not that. But there is awareness, seeing you, looking. And that awareness is what you are. So no loss of energy, no loss of consciousness anymore. Awareness is inside you, seeing outside.